Right, thanks for sending a swing. Interesting this one. Practice swing. What we see on a practice swing, commitment. Off the right foot, hands up over the left shoulder, lots of commitment. If we go through to the full swing, they're talking, you can hear them talking about pressure as well on this shot, which I think is quite interesting. We see a low duck hook to the left, very low hands on the way through with no commitment on the way through. So rather than talking about the techniques of the duck hook, because I actually can't see from this swing, I think it's strike based. I think you completely mishit it rather than you just deliver the club at the wrong angle. It looks to me like it's a low heel, which kind of gives it this face wrapping around the ball, low hooky one, but I can't tell from the quality of the video. Let's just talk a little bit about practice swing to real swing. Just an interesting one this, isn't it? It's a performance based issue. Now I think there's issues in the technique. Unfortunately the video isn't really clear enough for me to see. We'll give you a fairish idea of what you're actually doing wrong. And like I say, it looks a lot more strike-based kind of low hook. So way down here in the bottom left, which causes the club to wrap and the ball just goes low left and hooks around a bit as well. But we do see a practice swing that follows some commitment. Hands up and the right foot off its heel, up onto its heel, and then we see this kind of sat back kind of chipping shot forwards as it just kind of, again I've got that one low heel and it's duck hooked out the air. Let's just try, and what you need to do when you practice a little bit more is you need to try and put yourself in these situations a bit more. You need to try and put yourself a little bit more out there with some twitchy knee environment. If you're someone who goes to the range and just hits buckets of balls, no real pressure, just hits, you're actually going to get no benefit, because when you get in these situations here and you make that swing, which doesn't represent anything that you've practiced on the range, because the range you haven't felt these feelings that you're obviously feeling here, then you're actually not really practicing anything. You're better off hitting 10 balls on the range and then go and have a competition with your mates, or go out and play 2 holes in an evening, and in those 2 holes see if you can actually score, put some pressure on yourself, see how you perform and make yourself learn how to perform when there is a little bit of pressure. Look, this isn't really the best lesson in the world, it's not going to change you, but you've got to commit to every shot. You've got a driver in your hands there as well. You cannot hit a driver as delicately as you're hitting that. It'll just fall out the air. It won't have the launch characteristics that keep the ball pushing up in the air. You've got to, with a driver, commit. If you're not going to commit, you're better off hitting a lofted club, and that loft will keep that ball launching up and going up in the air a little bit more, and keeping it going a little bit further. You're better off hitting a 6-iron off that tee, or a 5-wood or something. So each time you're out there playing with your driver, you've got to remember, you've got to hit the thing, you've got to commit to it. You do need to try and swing at the thing. There's no point trying to chip it like you look like you're doing. And you definitely need to work on getting in that situation more. You only get better at that situation. It's like first tee nerves, all those kind of things, if you practice it more and it becomes more familiar. I remember as an amateur playing in some tournaments where I felt no pressure on the first tee. So a club tournament after playing in national tournaments felt like kind of you played in it to try and get your handicap down to get in the right amateur events, but you didn't feel any pressure, and I struggled to perform. You put me in a bigger event and I'm literally on the first tee and I'm really nervous, and it actually made me apply more. I learned to use that to my advantage. I didn't at the start, I learned to do that, kept putting myself in that situation and kept enjoying those feelings. You need to do it a little bit more. Well, obviously it's hard to do if you're not playing tournament golf all the time, so what you need to do is, rather than go to a range and hit 2,000 balls, go to a range and hit 10 balls, but then hit 40 of them in a real practice environment, a real kind of nervy, play with someone, play with some money, play for a club, play for something that gives you those kind of twitchy feelings. Hope this helps. Post comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think about this, and we'll speak to you all soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments, love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show, get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.